All right, welcome to the Game Sack panel. So how are you guys all doing today?
Everybody good?
Sorry about the accommodations. They put us in the smallest room that we could possibly get. I don't know what they think. Do they not believe in Game Sack? Or?
Apparently not.
Okay.
The sack is large.
The sack is a lot larger than this. So we thought we'd do a Q&A panel today, so just feel free to randomly ask any questions you want at any time you want. Just interrupt someone else asking their questions and stuff like that. So
We'll keep it civil.
Very loose and silly.
Yes. All right.
First question.
Yeah, I always like the signal integrity in your guys' audio and video. What kind of capture hardware do you have?
What kind of capture hardware do we have for our audio and video? Are you talking about like our voiceovers or our game captures?
Well, I'd like to know as much as you'd care to tell, but I'm specifically, I'm talking about game captures mainly.
Okay, game captures. We have two Sony DSR 25 VCRs that we capture a lot of the older game systems. We're starting to move to the Elgato for RGB captures, and we run a lot of that through the FrameMeister and stuff like that. It just depends on because I have more capture hardware than Dave does. Mm-hmm. So I have the FrameMeister, Dave does not. So sometimes he has to resort to the analog Sony DSR 25.
Yes. So is the FrameMeister a board or something?
FrameMeister is a standalone box that you can only get from Japan. That's $350.
Okay, so that's what the VCRs are running out to.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, no offense, Joe, but Dave, you have the best voice I've ever heard.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Dave has the best voice. It's soothing.
It's soothing. Don't tell me it puts you to sleep, please.
No, it's like the perfect radio voice. Like when I hear it, I'm like,
it's a handsome radio voice. All right. Well, thank you kindly.
But, on a more serious note, since it's obviously such like good quality work that you guys do and stuff, is this like obviously you guys have probably done like projects in the past and stuff before Game Sack?
Yes, we have.
Projects together, yeah.
Ew.
Okay. All right. Don't go there.
We've been making videos since, 1990? No, we didn't make them in high school. We made them in like 1991, and when we got out of high school. And basically been just making them for hobbies since then. Mm-hmm.
Like any specific genre and stuff?
Stupidity.
Yeah, whatever comes to mind,
You kind of started out like Jackass then.
Yeah, but we didn't try to hurt ourselves in the process. We go down to Joe's, hang out, play some games, and once we got sick of playing games, we just like, okay, well, what do you want to do? I mean, let's make a video of some sort, and it'd just be random stupid things that we'd want to do. And Joe had his VHS cam or mini VHS camcorder.
No. Is it working?
Hello? No. And then we just go from there.
I did not have a VHS cam.
I said mini.
I did not have a mini.
Straight high 8 camcorder. I'm sorry.
There you
go. A high 8. So that was a long time ago.
You should know these things.
But that's it. And then that's kind of, I don't know. Is that where you started?
That's where I got interested in video.
Your serious interest in that,
Yeah.
When we started messing with special effects and stuff like that. But
yeah, I wouldn't call them special.
Well, at the time, they were very special.
Yeah,
we thought they were wonderful at the time.
I guess so.
Yeah. So.
Go for it.
I had a question. In your sports games episode, you said that if it hit enough likes or views that you might consider doing another episode on sports. Is that going to be something you're doing in the future?
Well, yes and no. But the next episode we're actually going to be actively working on is non-conventional sports games. So not just like John Madden, stuff like that. Just Jerry Glanville's
caveman games, stuff like that.
You're going to do caveman games?
I'm going to do caveman games.
Okay.
It's a non-conventional sport.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
I have a question about modding. When I saw your video on modding like Segas and all the different types, I want to know, are there like good websites to go to for specifically modding? Because you went to a friend of yours.
Yes.
I want to know other places that you could possibly do that.
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I'm not equipped to really answer that because I know Bill, but he goes to a lot of forums to get information he doesn't have, like to build the Mega Amp on the Genesis. He went to sega-16.com and there's people there who developed it, and he got all his information there. So you got to visit like the tech forums on various console-focused websites.
It might be a lot of reading to find what exactly
He does
you're
not
looking
like
for.
to read.
No, I'd love to read actually.
So
Okay.
Okay, here's an interesting one. How many of the games that you reviewed do you actually own physical copies of?
A lot.
yeah, a lot. I mean, depending on, because a lot of the systems, you know, we've borrowed from other people. So those games we don't necessarily own. Like I don't own any Neo Geo CD games.
Or X68,000 games.
Oh God.
Or PCFX games.
Yeah.
Those were all loaned to us. So.
Yeah. So, but a lot. Sometimes we'll use EverDrives to get game footage if we have to. But usually we do actually own the physical copy.
Exactly.
So.
From time to time, you mentioned troubles lending games to friends. Have you guys ever had trouble lending games to each other? Either like, hey, are you almost finished that?
Yeah, it's. Have we ever had trouble loaning games to each other, you and I?
Not much. I don't think so. I mean, because we're pretty good about knowing. I'm pretty good about knowing what I've lent to Joe and to get it back.
Yeah, he has to
but
remind me
there's been
sometimes.
times where he's lent games to somebody else and he thought I had it. And I'm like, dude, I swear I did not borrow that game from you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bill had it.
Yes, and Bill had it, and I never got an apology, by the way, for you accusing me of having your game.
And you're not gonna get one.
I told you I was going to ask you a Sega question, so
Okay.
I have to ask you. Non-role-playing Sega Master System game, what's your favorite one?
Non-role-playing ones? Wow, there's actually quite a few. The first one that jumped to my head right now.
Top 3 then.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Kinsaden, I really like. I mean, it kind of takes some getting used to, but I really like Kinsaden. Rastan, I like the port of that. And wow, that's a tough one. Can you think of any Master Systems? that you just pull down and play. Yeah, I know you like
Would Wonder Boy be
Castlevania.
considered?
Wonder Boy Monsterland's a good one. Wonder Boy 3 to Dragon's Trap is even better. I play those two a lot. So I'm just trying to envision my Master
The
System.
Ninja, I like the Ninja.
I had to
I do.
with the non-role-playing because
Yeah.
there's some good
Yeah.
ones. I mean, there's great role.
Yeah, Fantasy Star can't go wrong with that.
No.
Miracle Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long does it take to create an average episode? And because you're releasing a new episode every other week now, is there ever kind of a time where you're kind of under the gun and you don't get as much into an episode as you want there to be?
Yeah, how long does it take to release an average episode? And, well, or how long does it take to make, I guess. I always, when people usually ask me that, our hours combined, I usually say maybe about 35. That's with all his gameplay and writing and his voice recording, which he does every other week. And then that's including my editing, my gameplay recording, and then uploading it and doing stuff like that. So roughly 35. And do we fall behind sometimes? Yes, I do. Dave doesn't see that because he's busy working on the next episode or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah. But I always try to make sure to get them up, and I try to make sure to get them. I try to stay ahead of myself. So if I'm falling behind, what I consider falling behind is if I don't have the episode 3 weeks from now ready. So that's what I consider falling behind, personally. So,
Which isn't behind.
I have a good segue question to that. One of the things I love most about GameSack is the research. Not only just what you say, but also just your game selection. So taking into consideration you do 35 hours, how much of that is research? Is this stuff you have to do a lot of back research, or is this stuff you just know off the back of your hand?
well, first of all, thank you for that. A lot of people would say we don't do any research, according to some of the comments. I guess it depends.
Yeah, it's a mixture of obviously playing and reading the manuals and reading any, obviously Wikipedia and any other websites that we can find that seem to have somewhat.
Yeah, Wikipedia is a good starting place.
Yes.
I try not to parrot that because, you know, a lot of people, anybody can go on and quote Wikipedia, and like, I don't know if the episode's out yet, but one of the episodes I was recently working on, I went to geez, I can't remember the site name off the top of my head, but it's dedicated to Sega and their third-party developers. And that was a really good source of information.
Okay, for your stop motion photography that you do you, on an average episode, do you do it all in one sitting, or is this something that you do, come back to, and the software that you use to make that work, what software do you use?
Okay, the stop motion stuff, it depends on, the complexity of the scene. Like the ending to the PlayStation episode where it's just going all over the place. Right. I had to do that in 3 different sittings. I think I did it all in one night though. Wow. But usually like when the consoles are coming apart, stuff like that, I'll do that in one sitting. And just taking the pictures takes maybe 20, 30 minutes. And then I take it upstairs and run it in After Effects, and you just import a frame sequence and then just export it into Final Cut Pro. So, wow, 2 hands, okay. Green shirt guy.
Joe, can you tell us how you really feel about Shenmue 3?
Shenmue 3! Honestly, on a more serious note though, I'm totally backing the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter. I don't know if you are.
I am, yes, I am a backer.
I'm glad to hear that, because I didn't know that.
Oh no,
I'm definitely backing the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter. I'm in for $100 so far. I may even put more in.
Yeah.
So.
How many people out there how of you guys are backing Shenmue 3?
0.
Well, behind you, there's a lot more. So,
so there's about
good.
30, maybe 25% of you.
No, that's good, and I hope it's going to be good. We all, of course, hope it's going to be great, but we'll see at the end of 2017 what really comes out of this thing. So.
Yeah.
Hammer guy.
What do you guys do for a living?
You know what Joe does. I work for FedEx Express. I'm a driver for them in Boulder, Colorado for 11 years now. So
I video edit professionally.
Yes.
So.
What's the most expensive game you have in your guys' collections?
The most expensive game we have in our collections.
Wow, I really, that's, I think we got that question before. I don't know because I don't really check the value of the games I already have because I already have it.
Right.
But I know ones that are expensive now are like Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Yeah. You have Snatcher, which is shooting up in price.
I don't know about I think Panzer Saga is more now.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
But I know there's been some that I've got, like Beyond Shadowgate on the TurboGrafx 16. I got that from a friend when it was not so bad. Now it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think as far as I know, I don't think we own anything that's like in the super thousands of dollar range.
You have Magical Chase on the Japanese.
Yeah, the PC Engine one, but in Earthbound, of course. But I don't think those approach the $500 even range. So, but I don't know. They're cool to have.
No. Neo Turf Masters on the Neo Geo.
Oh yeah, so okay. Well, that does.
That's like $8,000 now, isn't it? That's ridiculous.
For a golf game. But it is an awesome golf game.
AES or MVS?
AES. So.
Prices are bad now.
Yeah.
I remember getting a little Samson for like $5. Like,
You're kidding.
With the box and everything.
Oh man.
Maybe 6 years ago.
Oh man.
Awesome. You still have it?
Yeah, I still
have
it.
Very good.
Were there like any that you, were there any games that you bought knowing that the price would probably go up?
Not speculating per se. No, more just to play.
Like you see, like back, let's say like there's like an Xbox 360 game that's going for like $5 now, and like say I like just want to buy it because I know in the future it's going to go for like hundreds of dollars. Has there ever been anything like that for you?
Well, yes, very recently I bought. I don't know if these will go up because they're very recent games. I bought the Danganronpa series on the Vita. I picked both of those up, and they're actually fun. So,
but yeah, not.
You don't like them because you have to read.
Shut up, God.
Now there's someone else in existence that owns a Vita.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about GameSack is just the variety of topics you cover. How do you get ideas for new topics?
Just brainstorming. I mean, and we'll look at games on our shelves and see if we can combine like 5 of them that have something that's in common, that we can talk about.
We also have a running
list on Dropbox. Yeah.
Dropbox that we share, so we can both add stuff to the list on Dropbox for ideas, and then we have a bunch of ideas, but some of them that we can't really quite figure out how to make into an episode hopefully someday we can.
And we also have a list for our ending skits.
Yeah, that's right.
They have a bunch of ideas in there too. So
that's right.
Will you ever consider doing an episode where you review a bunch of games based on like anime, since there are a lot?
That's
the PCFX video.
Yeah. Well, more mainstream systems. That's not a bad idea, actually.
Also, one correction for one of your episodes. Remember the Urusei Yatsura My Dear Friends episode where you give the flowers to the dude and he gets embarrassed? Well, that's actually a girl. My friend wanted to point that out.
Many people pointed that out. So yeah, I didn't know that at the time, though.
He's a big fan of the series.
It was a good series, I guess. I don't know. It was a good game, I meant to say.
Could you do an episode on video pinball games?
Yes.
Video pinball games, yes. We've done one before, but that was only for NACSAT.
NACSAT pinball.
But we should expand, and like because there's a lot more pinball video games.
There are. I mean, there's definitely a lot more. I was actually playing Kirby's pinball just the other day. So.
Yeah, and there's Necronomicon for the Saturn, which it's not bad.
Okay, I haven't played it, but I'll take your word.
Okay.
What do you think about all these games going to things like Kickstarter, like Bloodstained, Yooka-Laylee, Shenmue 3? How do you feel about them going that way?
I think there's something I like about it that kind of says it's kind of a big FU to the game companies that could have made these games, like Mighty No. 9 and Capcom and Bloodstained and Konami. And of course we were part of the Bloodstained marketing thing, and so we're definitely all behind that. And I think it's good as long as they can give us preferably physical copies.
Yeah, always like.
I guess the second point to that was Shenmue 3. Sony is still helping them with it, not with development. How do you feel about a big company helping with a Kickstarter project?
Yeah, I guess
I don't personally have any problem with it. I mean, if the game comes to realization and it's the way that the director wants it to go, without Sony saying no, we don't want you to do this part, but since we're giving you so much money, you got to kind of do what we're telling you. As long as it's what the director's vision is of the game, then yeah, I have no problem with a big company.
I just want them to foot the bill to print a physical release,
which would be great. And yeah, I mean they're doing the PC, which is great, but come on, it's a console game to begin with, so it should have been on a console.
Yeah, I want that.
It would be awesome. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah. Gray-haired man.
Okay, so another question. I noticed that you don't give a lot of love to pre-crash systems.
Yes, that is because we don't own anything. We don't own any consoles pre-Nintendo at the moment. My friend Bill has a lot of like ColecoVision and Television, Atari 2600. He's like modding that stuff with like S-Video and stuff like that. And once that's all done and good and ready to go, then we'll look into like a system-focused episode on stuff like that.
Okay.
But don't expect it like in next few weeks or anything like that. Hopefully soon.
I really enjoyed the very WTF video.
Yeah.
That's just live. Is there any chance you guys would do a volume 2 of that? That was just a real good like broad category that I.
Yeah. If we had more older footage. Speaking of stuff we did before GameSack, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah, as far as like games themselves, like very strange, miscellaneous, wacky things.
There might be enough because there's that LSD game for the PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
played a few since then too. That could have fit into the episode for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. By all means. I mean, if there's some wacky games, I don't think we could. Promising, that style of episode where we have flashbacks to 1990s, but.
For the Sega CD episode, what was the process like exporting or getting that video to actually play through the Sega CD and then getting into the episode?
For the Sega CD episode, what we did is we shot all the video and we sent the video over to a gentleman, Brian G. Van Buren. Sorry, Brian. And he encoded it with Cinepack that plays on the Sega CD, and he makes sure it runs when the disc's inserted and stuff like that. So as far as the technical process, that was all him. And then he sent the ISO back, I burned it, ran it on my Sega CD, recorded the video out, and there we go. So, fun times.
my favorite thing that you guys do is when you cover the obscure consoles and stuff that kind of nobody else covers, like the Sharp X 8600 stuff like that. Are there any other consoles that are kind of on the horizon that you'd like to do, something like Palladium, the Pippin, the Wonder Swan, anything like that? Because it's got to be kind of hard to get capture footage for that unless you use emulation. But like, those are the kind of stuff that I'd really like to see from you guys.
Those particular consoles, I don't know. We're looking to do maybe an Amiga CD32 episode sometime in the future. What else?
Yeah, any of those systems would be great if we could get our hands on them. So
we're going to do FM Towns, I know that, and we're going to do MSX. It's just a matter of time when I borrow the systems from.
That's the only thing is getting them loaned to us.
Okay, is there any system that you personally really want to do an episode of that you haven't been able to get your hands on the console for one reason or another?
That's a tough question.
That is a tough one. That we haven't been able to get our hands on. I don't.
Yeah, that's tough.
Nothing off the top of my head.
I want to do a Neo Geo, just a regular Neo Geo episode, no CD, no the portable system, whatever that one, the X. Just a regular Neo Geo episode, but we just don't have enough games for it. And I have the AES. I may look into getting an MVS so I can get the multi-card or something like that, just so, because I don't want to just cover like 14 games that I own that I've already shown on the show many times.
Right.
So.
I feel like a complete jerk asking this, but I'm in school right now for interactive design, so I just have to ask, like, for your title cards and stuff, do you ever use like Adobe programs or like Photoshop and stuff like that for your title cards and stuff on YouTube or any imagery that you use? Do you ever use any of that stuff?
Yeah, I use Adobe Photoshop for like the thumbnail image, I guess they call it, and then like the credit text. Basically all I use Adobe for, unless I do stop motion animation, then I use After Effects.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you use Final Cut over like Premiere or Avid?
Because I know Final Cut. I've used Final Cut since version 1. I've tried Premiere several times since then. It's just never really taken me. It's not a bad product, but I just prefer Final Cut, and I've gotten into Final Cut Pro X, and I still finish in. I do.
You like X?
I do like X. It has the best keyer in the world, and I've all the video stuff I've done for the video game years, all edited in Final Cut Pro X. Amazing things you can do with Final Cut Pro X. I still finish in Final Cut Pro 7 for GameSack because the Final Cut X doesn't do a certain thing with stuff from the DSR 25 that I needed to do. But other than that, yeah, it's good.
Felt good to finally see somebody do an episode on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Now, do you guys know any kits to make it a backlit screen, or do you think I should take the time to build one?
That's personal preference to you. I don't know of any kits. I guarantee they're out there, but
I think you can only do a frontlit screen on the Neo Geo Pocket. Yeah.
Just knowing the fact that it's not back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's if you want to, open your system up and try to mess around in there. But
it'd be worth it.
I mean, it would be nice not to have to sit under a light, but. Yeah, exactly.
So what episodes were you guys the most proud of? I mean, I'm sure we all have our favorites here. I'm partial to the X68000 and the PCFX, but what episodes do you think were the best?
Go first.
I do like the X68000 because of the games that we got to play. Gosh, I don't know if I have a general favorite. I just like doing the show in general, just to play a lot of games that I have played and have not played.
I have two favorites. The aforementioned WTF episode, just because it's so cheesy and one joke repeated again. It's just fun to make.
Yeah.
And then the Sega CD episode, because we're running it off of a real Sega CD, and I just think that's cool. I mean, probably content-wise, it's not our best episode, but it's just really fun to make.
Yeah.
So.
You guys gonna do like another episode of like this system games that should have stayed in Japan?
Probably not. We probably could if we went to modern systems.
Yeah.
Because the last time we focused on the Genesis.
Yeah, and What would we with the? Because I got some Japanese PS3 or Japanese PS1 games off the PS3. And was that for the last episode?
No, he's talking about games that should have stayed in Japan.
Oh, should have? Yeah. Oh, should have stayed in Japan, or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay.
So they're
I
all-
misunderstood you. I thought it was
Yeah.
left in Japan.
No, so those are kind of games that are a little bit harder to come up with.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, if we could find some, I mean. Green shirt. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead first. I already asked.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Have you guys considered picking up a professional RGB monitor to play your games on?
I have a PVM.
Oh, you did?
I don't use it at the present. It's, I don't know, in another room, just waiting for me to figure out what to do with it. I have a Toshiba 20-inch TV that the picture's slightly better than the PVM with component input, because I run my RGB and convert it to component. Looks really nice, so that's probably why I haven't bothered switching them out and stuff like that.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do you think your friend Bill will ever open a website for console modding at all?
Yeah, the thing with Bill, and we love Bill dearly, but he's had some personal problems. His wife had some medical issues, and so he's been like really dealing with that. So until he gets his life back on track, and which he's starting to do, he's really close to it, and he does want to do that. You know, be able to. He modded a few people's consoles after that episode, but he had to stop like right away. So.
If you guys could live in any time period in history pre-video games, what would it be?
Pre-video games. Oh man.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Caveman times.
Yeah, caveman.
Rule the world.
Gosh. Yeah. I don't know.
That's
Let me see.
such a 1945.
Late, yeah.
Right after the war.
Right after the war.
I don't know.
That's a hard question. I mean, because there's
and
probably
when
a
does
lot
video
of periods that
time
you'd like to live in.
specifically begin? Because I would like to live the latest possible. You know, like if it's like 69, at least I could watch like Star Trek or something. Go for it.
Have you ever been really disappointed when you buy a game thinking that you were going for a different one, you got the names mixed up, you just got a crappy game? You did the other one.
Yeah, of course. Or you buy a game you think is going to be something amazing and it's not
You have
a
the
lot.
other game in mind, and then you realize that it's called something else.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I don't remember the specific circumstance, but I do remember that happened to me where I bought a game thinking it was something else, and I get home, it's like, oh no, this is the one that's like that. But this, it's like, you know, like a licensed game, but they have several different versions on that system. You bring it home thinking it's that one, no. And so you got to get the other version that's called something else, and you don't remember what it's called. So yeah.
No, I haven't had that experience.
Not just like modern stuff like Steam or anything, but do you guys have much experience with like PC gaming, like even back to like the DOS days and stuff?
Not really.
No.
I don't have any gaming PCs. You used to. You do have experience. What are you talking about?
Well, what do you? I had a Mac.
No. You had the PC.
Oh, I used to play some Medal of Honor. Yeah.
Yeah. You loved it.
I did. I actually did like Medal of Honor back then. But that was about it. That's the only time I've ever really played any PC stuff, and I was
so the answer
pretty
is
short.
Yes.
Well, for a short time. Yeah, very short period of time. But that's it.
Yeah,
we're not obviously big fans of. I mean, playing games on PC. You're getting into it.
Yeah,
per se.
But yeah, we have Macs and they're not very well supported in games. So I don't recommend them if you want to play games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing your Doom 128 skit, recorded that thing back in '99.
Yeah.
Well, something puzzles me. Joe, you said that you never really liked Doom. You never really got into it. First-person games were the other thing. So, why exactly did you have enough interest in Doom 64 and even
Well, the reason Doom 128 exists is because we were probably trying to make fun of it.
Mockery of.
Yeah, and because if you look at the video, my arm's going like this, trying to over-exaggerate the bob and stuff like that, and we're just being stupid.
Yeah.
It's because Doom 64 just came out, so.
I want to thank you guys for the endless hours of free entertainment that you've provided to me and my family. My daughter and I make a ritual of watching each new episode together, And I was wondering if you guys had thought about making an episode where you found games that were accessible to kids who were starting to become interested in video games.
Well, we could. Into retro gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, at one point in my life, I was trying to get a complete Sega Genesis collection, believe it or not.
You stopped that?
Well, I haven't stopped it, but I'm just not actively pursuing it. But I do have a lot of the Club Sega games, like Echo Jr. and Busy Town and stuff like that. So, considerably, yes, we could do an episode like that, but I just don't think it would be very popular because I don't think the demographic has, you know, a lot of children that they're trying to rear into video games. So I think that might be, believe it or not, our least viewed episode.
Oh well.
Oh yeah, the Call of Duty versus Battlefield. Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite city for retro gaming in terms of stores and conventions?
My favorite city?
Aurora, Colorado.
I like Boulder
Boulder.
better.
I like Boulder too, but Boulder has the one awesome store. Aurora has like 3 or 4 different stores.
Yes.
But that's just where we live. As far as across the U.S., where they're on.
Yeah, we just don't know. I mean, this is our second convention, so.
And we don't even get a chance to explore this city.
We don't get out of the convention grounds typically.
Yeah.
So.
What other YouTube channels do you guys enjoy watching?
What other YouTube channels do we watch? I watch very few.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot. I mean,
well, I was going to go through the ones I actually do.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Like Happy Console Gamer. Don't like to admit it. Sometimes 8-Bit Eric. Game Chasers. My Life in Gaming. You guys should check them out. These are these guys here taping the panel. Mark. Jonathan. Well, Jonathan's not actually part of My Life in Gaming, but he's helping out. He's 8-Bit Duke, by the way, and of course Corey Carlson, which is really good if you want to get into RGB. I already mentioned Happy Console Gamer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll watch some Retro Liberty with Aaron.
Yeah, and then man, I'm trying to think because I'm subscribed to like 3 people. Dorks of Yore.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Who else?
Dorks of Yore. That's fine.
Not many.
I
actually I am subscribed to Cinemassacre. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So
James and Mike Mondays and some random stuff out of there.
And Re-Res.
Yes. Yeah, Shane.
Yeah. Alpha Omega Sin.
Alpha.
So stuff like that.
I think it was the arcade games episode. One of you guys mentioned there was a specific game that you enjoyed playing between fights at Chuck E. Cheese's. Was there a story behind that turn of phrase?
I'm not sure. Was it some I said or was it?
I don't know. I love the tiny little.
Yeah, exactly.
Fights at Chuck E. Cheese's.
It was something that we probably had.
Probably did say. I'm not remembering it off the. But no, I'm probably just poking fun at all the violence that was happening at the time, like parents getting into fights at Chuck E. Cheese. Because probably when I wrote it was like in the news a lot, so I was just making fun of it.
And there was a shooting at a Chuck E. Cheese in Aurora, Colorado, back in the day.
Yeah. Was that Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese?
I thought it was Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, I thought it was Showbiz.
Showbiz and Chuck E. are one in the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning on doing any more Halloween or horror-themed episodes?
People generally don't tune into those. What I definitely like to cover more horror-themed games. Perhaps we won't call it, Halloween games. We'll call it something. We'll call it something else like horror-themed games or something a little more
games
spicy
that make
than
us
that.
crap our pants or something.
No.
Doesn't get a lot of views. What are you talking about?
I have another question. What other things besides gaming, because you two do videos, obviously, what other things do you like to collect? Like, what other hobbies are you into? Like maybe old VHSs or something to that?
Joe has an amazing toenail collection. It's something to see.
Told you not to tell him about that.
People got to know. I don't collect anything else besides video games. I at one point started doing a little bit in action figures, but that quickly died. I don't know why. I don't know.
I don't really collect much of anything, but I do have other hobbies, like, because I was a movie theater projectionist technician for a while, so I'm like really into that stuff. Not necessarily like movies themselves, although I do really like movies, but like I guess I do have a lot of Blu-rays.
You do.
And my voice is cracking.
Yeah, I'd like to borrow those.
But lots of the technical stuff that goes on in movie theaters, and I'm still kind of got my feet wet in that scene. So.
So you would be more like into like parts from like movie projectors and stuff. Would you like to have something like that to create like something older?
No, because I have no room for it. Those are big. I do own one film print, but that's it on 35 millimeter. But I don't see myself collecting so many movies on film like my friend does.
That would take a lot of space.
Yeah, so yeah, it does. So I thought I saw. We haven't heard from you yet, I don't think.
What's your favorite beer?
I don't have one. I generally don't drink.
You know, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do like to drink a lot of, like, there's a lot of Colorado breweries. As you know, Colorado has a ton of microbrews. Like right now, there's a brewery called Upslope. They make a really good brown ale, and that's in Boulder, Colorado. But if you're talking like a mass market, a staple would probably be like Killian's or Blue Moon. I like Blue Moon. But like Denver sadly does not get Yingling, so this is the only time I've really been able to drink a lot of that. Well, not a lot, but I had my fill last night, which was great. But that's one thing that does not make it west of the Mississippi for some stupid reason. So,
yeah. Did you have another one?
So every now and then we see cameos of you on other YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered featuring anybody else in between segments on your show?
Collaborating with other YouTubers is kind of a very hard process because we don't live really near anyone. And so we have to share footage and stuff like that. So yes, we have considered it. Yes, we're talking to people, but it's kind of a hard process to do and kind of hard to figure out a way to do it that doesn't turn the viewers off. Like, who are these guys? I'm not watching. You guys are not being GameSack if you're just talking about these other guys and stuff like that. But we would like having guests.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I mean,
If
because
we
I
can.
think it brings, you know, fans of that show to see our show and vice versa. So, I mean, I think
Because I thought the East episode with Johnny.
Yeah, with
worked
Johnny.
way-
Yeah.
Good.
It was a ham sandwich, chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
What's up?
Yes.
Since you guys have become more and more popular, and you guys have now started going to conventions, do you have a favorite or a very memorable fan interaction or positive or negative that sticks out in your mind?
Like I say, this is our second convention, so
I haven't
it's
had
just
any
it's just
negative
cool.
ones.
Yeah, nothing negative.
Yeah.
It's just really nice to meet everybody. You know, I mean, that stops by to say hello and stuff like that. But nothing.
Yeah, nothing
you know,
like freaks us out or like blows us.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
nobody that came up and said, "Hey, here, have a Neo Geo because we like you." So,
yeah, no,
nothing like that.
Well, come on, we met George. George? Was it George? No.
Jacob.
Jacob. Yeah. Sorry, Jacob.
Oh, yeah,
He-
yes, that's
He's
true.
he's doing the artwork. No. he did like artwork of us at Retropalooza,
Yes,
and that was really
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, very good
stuff like that. He's just drawing in his hotel room overnight.
Yeah, which where do we put? We put that on Twitter and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So probably long gone. But
no, it's still there.
Yeah. So, but no, overall it's cool. I mean, locally, or driving around Denver, the only place I've ever been recognized per se was in, of course, a game store. You've had more of a different experience.
I was recognized driving down the road. That was weird. So
just somebody.
Hey, it's you. It's like you. Very strange.
Do you guys have a least favorite episode you've ever done? Either like it was like a nightmare to like make, or like you just didn't like how it came out?
Anything Sega related, you know.
Yeah, I hate that one that you suggested, which was Battlefield and Call of Duty.
Yeah, that one in hindsight, you know. And that was when we were just trying, we got to get some views in here, and, you know, people are doing let's plays.
I think the
of Medal of
rationale
Honor, Call of
behind
Duty.
that was we need to do modern games because we can't cover retro games forever, and people watch modern games.
Partially, yes, and then just partially
No
to
one
try
watched
to up
it.
the view count, but that just failed miserably.
Yes, it did. Go.
Yep. Yep.
Does Dwayne really exist?
No.
No. No, Dwayne does not exist.
It took me like a fraction of a sentence
I
to
know.
remember, like, what are they talking about? Oh, yeah. Such an old episode.
Yes.
So recently they announced that Rare Classic Collection, and for the first time they're gonna have the arcade Battletoads on there, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Is there any like arcade games left still that like you're like really hope that they're gonna finally like put on a console or something, so it's not just like
Golden Axe 2.
Golden Axe, Revenge of Death Adder.
Revenge of Death Adder, yes.
keep open looking for 3 classics on 3DS.
I know. That would be amazing. Joe would like Narc. No.
Narc. Random arch rivals.
Arch rivals.
No, those all
I
came
don't know.
home.
Other
Those
than
came
that,
home.
those, yeah, exactly. They have not come home. I don't
No,
know.
well, no, that are not on a
Or
compilation.
a compilation, yeah.
So yeah, there's probably a lot. But yeah, off the top of my head, sitting up here, hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah, Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder is the only one
Yeah.
I can think of that I would really like to get.
Yeah.
On a compilation.
What's your opinion on the Betamax format?
Betamax is, I've never used it. Well, actually, I have when I worked in the movie theater because we had to run some shows off of tape, just once or twice.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It was Betamax SP though. It wasn't the consumer Betamax format.
Oh, okay. My uncle had a consumer Betamax, and it was interesting. I was like, man, these are small.
Did they
tapes,
edit the
and
movies down to fit on the shorter tape?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I
Or they
was
released
like
2 tapes for
8
one
years
movie?
old at the time, so I had no clue of quality.
Yeah.
So.
But other than that,
interesting. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I saw you guys got that award from YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
1,000 subscribers, but so do you guys share that or?
No. It's sitting in his
because I do all the
office.
work.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm
It's
not
not an
complaining.
office.
Whatever. It looks like an office to me.
Did you have a question?
Favorite game made by Nintendo, favorite game made by Sega.
Favorite game made by Nintendo? Got to go. Wow, actually, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. I've got to admit. The first thing that came to my mind right now, and it's probably not my favorite game by Nintendo, but it's up there, is F-Zero. Love it. Oh man, Super Mario World. Love it.
Yeah.
Your turn with Sega, I guess.
Yeah, as mentioned, probably Golden Axe series. I'm not so fond of 3, but the first 2 are great. I like the feel, and the music is amazing.
Yeah.
But Sega just generally makes awesome arcade games. Outrun. Just keep looking at that shirt over there.
Yeah.
They're really well at arcade stuff.
Yep. That's why I got the Master System.
Yep.
Has your large video game collection ever created conflict in your household?
No, it has not. My wife is very supportive. She's, she doesn't, complain if I don't spend too much time with her because she likes to watch Hoarders and weird stuff like that. so she's fine with having her own free time because it's kind of like, free time for her and free time for me. And now that we have a 7-year-old daughter, it's
She's 7 now?
she'll be 7 in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But it's no conflicts on my side. So.
No real conflicts on my side either.
No, Jen, any conflicts? Yeah.
What?
You have to ask Jen.
Yeah.
Just ask Jen that.
Yeah. She takes me to she looks up and sees what video game stores are around
I know,
town.
right? And I never get a call, by the way.
Of course
How
you
come
don't.
never call me when you're going to game stores.
Oh, like you'd be available. No.
Because that's it, well, like Joe and I have gone to thrift stores a couple times, and we'll see like stuff on the shelves, and it's a battle, like slap fight all the way over to the shelf to get.
That was a fist fight for that.
Right.
What was that?
There's 3 Master System games that we didn't know, and just like fighting over to get to them. So that's probably a reason why we wouldn't go together.
Yeah.
It's just too much competition to just try to get to.
I know.
What we
We're
can find.
racing there and stuff like that.
And on the car, I get dibs on anything. On this.
Yeah, on anything.
I get first dibs.
Yeah.
Blue shirt. Calvin.
You guys always wear such awesome shirts in the shows. What's your favorite one that you got?
My favorite one's probably like one of them anyway is the Dreamcast one I'm wearing now, just because I think it fits pretty well, feels good. I like the Mega Man Skull one.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have.
Yeah.
Trying to think of my shirt collection. The TurboGrafx 16 is another one of my favorites. You know, just stuff that's not so common, that not everyone else would wear. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
I like shirts like this that have mashup type stuff, like
the T-Fury stuff.
Yeah, I like T-Fury or Shirt Punch. You know, I like that. I have a Bowser one that says Evil Empire. You know, where he's.
Yeah, you wear that one a lot.
I like that shirt. It's really cool, and I should have bought two. So, but those are more the kind that I guess like the mashup type stuff.
What's your opinion on laser discs?
Laserdisc. I used to love Laserdisc. In fact, I still have most of my Laserdiscs. That was something I collected. And I still have a lot of those. And it was fun because even though the video format itself was so old and analog, they were still updating it, like adding like 5.1 digital sound to it. And it was awesome at the time. Nowadays, not so much, but it's still cool for nostalgic reasons, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I never owned a Laserdisc player, but
of course you didn't.
No.
I keep a CRT television in my room just so I can play like any retro games without any lag. Do you guys know of any devices that won't break the bank and be able to play it on an HD TV? Because most of them I've seen are like 200, 300, maybe even more. Do you know of any devices that might be less than that, or do you guys use anything that might be a good solution for that?
No, just a CRT like you do.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best one because like if you want to reduce the lag, you're gonna have to spend $300 on like something like the FrameMeister to reduce the lag, and even then, it's not gonna completely eliminate it. It'll make it better than just plugging in, your S-Video or even your VGA straight to your HD TV. But
S-Video anymore.
If you want that kind of improvement, you have to spend the money, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to find a CRT somebody's throwing away. I mean, because that's pretty much what's happening. So.
Yeah.
Most hated game ever? Do you have one?
Man.
A game you just despise or regret buying totally?
There are probably games that I really hate, but I've blocked them from my memory and I can't recall them right now.
There's one game that I bought that I hated at first, but then I turned around and really like it, which was Marble Madness on the Nintendo.
Oh, really? You hated that
at first? I was like, why the hell did I? Because you can beat it in 15 minutes. And it's like, why the hell did I buy this?
Yeah.
I just hate, like, I could have bought something much better than this, but of course I turn around and like, well, it's not that. I actually do like this video.
I kind of hate Thunderblade on the Master System because it's just so poorly made. So, just one of them, I guess. So we've got 2 more minutes left, so I guess 2 more questions.
What's your favorite RPG of all time?
My personal favorite RPG is, well, I say this for nostalgic reasons because the first one I ever played is Phantasy Star on the Master System. It's awesome. I love Phantasy Star 2. I do like 3, and I really love 4 because that's great fan service in there. And the lunar stuff is good. There's a lot of good ones. You don't like any RPGs?
Yeah, I never was huge in RPGs. I did like playing some to an extent, but not hugely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was more into the action RPG stuff. But,
yeah. Okay, favorite action RPG?
Would probably be the Zelda series. So, of course, I mean that's an obvious answer, but it's.
Is that an RPG?
True.
There's that argument going on. Is Zelda?
I would say it's an action RPG.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Okay.
Do you guys sink any like crazy hours into any like next gen stuff that's out now?
Yeah, I play a lot of, well, not a lot, but I do play more next gen stuff than people might think. Like I said, I don't think I said that, but I've been collecting Vita games recently, and getting my PS4 system stuff up there. Got a lot of PS3 stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to spend more time. I haven't bought, but I want to buy Arkham Knight. I don't know how. I'm hoping it's living up to awesomeness like some of the previous games, but
Why not PC?
I won't. I've heard it has problems on there. It would be a PS4
Well, I think
purchase.
Why not PC right now?
Because they took it off the shelf.
They did.
Good. I mean, that's it. I mean, they shouldn't be releasing it if it's not going to run. So, but I would, if and when I do that, I will buy it. I will sink a lot of time into it.
Yeah. Anyway, we want to thank you guys for coming. We're going to be at a
more
Final
panel.
Bosses panel. That's at 2 p.m. It's going to probably be a little bit more raunchy. We've got the
Yeah.
Game Chasers, Eric, Alpha Omega Sin, have a console gamer, Regrez on that.
In panel room number 1, I believe.
In panel room number 1 in half an hour from now. So if you want to attend, do. If you don't,
stop by our booth. We'll
attend
be
anyway.
there or walking around.
Anyway, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Very much.